of our favorite things, I think if one of anybody's favorite things really, is just to go on like a solid day trip.
Yeah.
Like to play hooky from work and find somewhere you want to go that's, within a short drive, and you go and you see something you haven't seen before. I feel like we found something with the RVing lifestyle that lets us both road trip and like have these experiences where we're living in different places, but then also have these like day trips almost as if we're locals. Like have a day trip, have an adventure, but then you come back to your home.
Right.
And it feels very different from like a full-blown vacation.
In the RV, there's lots of different ways to travel, and I think if you look on like Instagram, it looks like everybody's just going right to the national park or right to wherever they want to camp, free and wild, boondock, all that stuff. But there's a lot of other ways to travel too, and so I think one of the things that we do a lot is like what you're talking about, where we park the RV somewhere, and then we take a day trip to the thing that we want to see.
Right. And sometimes for us it's about like finding the place you can park it, and then like be a normal person almost.
Yeah.
And there's lots that you can drive to kind of around there. So that's what we did. So we took a little trip, and we went and saw something we had never seen before, which was Saguaro National Park East. The first thing that I think was kind of nice about this place is that you're able to drive to everything. You haven't been able to do like any intense hiking lately with your injury, and so it's just it was nice to find a place where we could really navigate it a lot, sort of just in our truck and just drive to the cool places.
Yeah.
And the whole thing is a big loop, and so we got to what we first did when we got there was we just took the whole loop. And we were like, all right, what are we going to want to come back and see, basically. And we just got a really good sense of the park and what was there. And then we had some lunch.
Yeah.
But we did it our way.
Our way. Yeah. Yeah, we made BLTs.
I had my kitchen, so I made bread in advance and fried up some bacon. And then all you gotta do is bring some bags of tomatoes and lettuce and our favorite mayo, and you're good to go. Like down to the simplest thing, a picnic looks different when you get to live in a place and sort of like day trip out to the cool spots as opposed to fly in here for a vacation at a hotel.
And that's like what we're all about. We always make our own food, and that's more fun to me to have our own food as like a picnic than to go out to eat. And so that was really fun. We stopped on, they're called Javelina Rocks in Saguaro National Park East, and they're just really cool rock formations, and they get really tall, and there's saguaros everywhere. It was a really nice place to stop and have lunch.
So we had our little lunch, and then we got to kind of drive around and find some other places. One fun part was we got to go on a hike, a little bit of a walk, which was really nice.
There's the kind of what you expect, the saguaros and the other cacti and stuff like that, and then you keep walking for a little bit, and then all of a sudden there's like these trees, and there's like dry riverbeds with like these crazy shaped stones, and it's wild. I really didn't think that all those things would just be in the same national park.
You also like the saguaros because you think that they look like people.
I do. They're so fun. I think that, so obviously they have like their arms, right? And the ones that have like 2 or close to 2 arms, they just look like people like making crazy gestures with their arms, and I think it's really funny.
I feel like we kind of reconnected with the day trip on this little trip. So one of the things I think we do is we pick a city that's near the stuff we want to go see. Like even our next spot, which I won't talk about, but you were talking about, this is this city, but then these are the things that we can go do from this city. So it's almost like using a city as sort of your jumping off point. And I think that's one thing I love about having specifically a travel trailer. Having a vehicle you can detach from your RV, to me, has been phenomenal. And that's sort of what opens the doors to these little day trips, where you can be like you can go out like a local, you know? But then at the end of the day, you're coming back to your home. After all this, we had this great day, we saw all these awesome things, we came back to our place, and I cooked you a pizza with my sourdough.
Right.
You know, we did our evening and we watched a movie. Like, you're home. And that's one of the best things to love about a day trip.
Right.
Because all of that fun you just went out and had, you're also going to come back to the place that hopefully you like. So if we know we're going to a place where we're going to do a lot of work, but we're going to have some scattered days where we're going to want to do something, we're going to go somewhere, then these day trips are phenomenal. And I think that's kind of what we had found here in Tucson. I mean, that was part of the reason that we decided to stay longer, was because we knew we wouldn't just be sort of stuck for that extra time. We would have this chance to drive out. There's so many cool things in and around Tucson that we can get to it within a day's drive and kind of have more travel.